All right, guys, welcome back to another edition of the Workbench, your resource-rich weekly podcast and newsletter for home services and local business. Really excited to be joined here by Ivan, the CEO and co-founder of Comrade Digital Marketing, a big national full-service digital agency working with a variety of local businesses and focused on home services as well. So excited to dive into his background and learn all of the insights he's generated over the years of working with these companies from a digital marketing perspective. Ivan, thanks for coming on. How's your week been so far?
Hey, Brian, thank you so much for having me. My week has been going really well. It's already Wednesday. I can't believe it. Almost Thursday, by the way. So far, so great. So good.
Yeah, great, man. Well, tell us before we dive into the agency and start talking shop and tactics and insights, would love to hear a little bit more about your personal story as an entrepreneur, and how you got started and your background leading up to Comrade Digital Marketing.
Sure. So just a quick introduction. At Comrade Digital Marketing, what we do is we help local service businesses. Home services is one of the biggest concentration of our clients. We also work with legal, and now we're doubling a little bit with healthcare space as well. So how do we help our clients? Is we help grow businesses by helping them get more qualified leads and customers. How do we do this? Primarily with three main pillars: building websites that are designed to convert visitors into clients, and improving visibility with the SEO with the power of organic and local map back, and obviously running paid ad campaign to attract potential customers. My personal story: I worked at a few other marketing agencies before I started Comrade. I guess the company was incepted in 2008. It was more of a hobby for me and my friend who also started a business with me. We sort of started doing gigs on the side, started working within the community, and then little by little, I guess where it really took off, it was 2011. We already had our first three full-time employees, and we could feel like it was becoming the company, and we could quit our full-time jobs and went to work, full-time on the growth of our own agency. Fast forward, we're about 80, 85 people right now. We have three offices, growing pretty rapidly, and I'm in Miami, Florida myself. I lived in Chicago for about 20 years. That's where our company headquarters is. So I moved to Florida to expand our reach to more of a south.
Yeah, I've recently moved. I lived on the East Coast and the West Coast and moved to Austin. And something about the South and the Southeast and Southwest, I can't really articulate why. It just feels like there's more local business or home services out here. It just seems like there's a lot more activity. So, good place to be in Florida. I think the fact that you started in 2008 is quite interesting because every, young 24-year-old guy wants to be an entrepreneur. One of the most common things they'll go do is a social media marketing agency or an SEO agency for local business. It's approachable. There's a lot of these businesses. It's hard for anyone. There's no Facebook really. It's hard for one company to dominate the space. So tell us a little bit about getting started in 2008. And I want to talk about the broader journey, but what were the things you were doing for your first five clients in 2008 from on digital marketing?
Yeah, accidentally, it was the time of market crash. We all remember how 2008 went. But once again, it was a fun time for us to start a business. We were young, we were energetic, fearful. We didn't really care. We had job on the side, so even if this is not gonna work out, we could always come back and do our work. At the agencies where we were employed. So this was more of a passion project for us. And from the get-go, I guess what differentiated us is we wanted to focus on quality first and foremost, because most of our first customers were our friends or someone from our network. We wanted to truly build a stellar project. We started out as a web studio. So we designed landing pages, websites, e-coms, and so on. And my business partner, he had a degree in marketing. So, obviously the next component, once you design the website, what do you do? How do you drive traffic? So that's where we added the SEO aspect, the paid search aspect, and social media and so on. at first we were a generalist agency, so we did not say no to any of the newcomers. That's why I think ever since inception of our company, I think we served something like clients from 24 different industries, which was horrible, horrific, for the reason that you can't focus enough. You can't be specialist if you serve all 24 industries, right? That's why about, I want to say maybe 5, 6 years ago, we finally decided now is the time to niche down and just focus on one or two or maybe three industries where we'll be really, really damn good, and we can charge you a lot, better, bigger prices, and I think our close rate will definitely go up if we do that. And fast forward, it did materialize in that. I think about since to 5 years ago, we grew at least threefold.
When it came time to niche down, why pick? I know legal and some other industries, but for most of our audience, it's home services. So why pick of those three? Why make home services one of them?
Yeah, very good question. It's the same recipe, local service businesses. So whether it's legal, whether it's home service, whether it's healthcare, um, the type of audience that they're trying to acquire is a local person, local, someone that's looking for services on a local level. That's why the recipe is pretty much the same. And also, we looked at concentration of our clients, and home services and legal were among the biggest concentrations. So we decided that we have the most understanding of those industries and the best case studies. So it was natural for us to go into those industries.
Let's talk about strategies and tactics for home services. You're fortunate and I think rare for the conversations we've had on here in terms of your experience doing digital marketing for these companies over a long period of time. What are some of the tactics that you use when a new client comes on board in order to help them get more leads? And I think talking through the different experiences, because some people are like, I just launched my business. Some people are like, I'm at 1 million, I want to get to 5. How do you think about helping grow top line revenue through digital marketing for these businesses?
Yeah, for sure. So everything, I guess, starts with when we sit down with our clients and talk about their goals, right? Look, we need clear understanding of what they're hoping to achieve in the next 12 months, 18 months, 24, 36, and so on. And we asking them to be as specific as possible. Like, what does it mean to grow your business? Because many of the companies come to us and say, "Well, I just want to grow my business." What does it mean? How many more clients are you trying to get? So we get them to speak to us in very specific terms. We ask them, "What's your revenue right now? What are you trying to achieve? Let's say in 12 months. Let's say it's 1 million right now. I'm hoping to achieve 2 million within the year. Okay, let's break it down. What's the average, check per client that you get from each client that you acquire?" Obviously, it's hard for them to calculate, but we get down to an average. Let's say it's whatever it is, 50,000, whatever. And then from there, we understand how many new customers do we need to generate for them to get that million dollars of additional revenue. From there, we trying to understand if they've done any digital marketing before. If they haven't, then we would give them our benchmarks. If they have, we will use their benchmarks to calculate out of, let's say, 20 new clients that we need to generate, how many marketing qualified leads does that mean? Based on, and typically it is based on their conversion rate. Assuming that an average conversion rate is 20%, let's say if they need 20 clients, that means that they need 100 marketing qualified leads a year, right? And then from there we go into, okay, now we understand your goals. Now we understand where you're trying to go. What are your budget expectations? How much are you willing to invest? And based on their budget expectations, we then devise a strategy that can consist of 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 different channels. We're trying to master one channel at the time. So if our client has a smaller budget, we would go all in on one channel. If a client has sort of like more manageable budget that can be split, then we try and test out different channels. For us specifically, The channels that have generated best results, and I can specifically share this with you, are on the organic SEO side. Organic among all of our clients generates 33% of all the marketing qualified leads. But then Google Business Profile or local mapback SEO generates 34%. Direct and other non-paid or other SEO generates 16%. On the paid side, at least for us, the split works as 61% on Google Ads, 17% on local service ads, 17% Facebook ads, and 4% Microsoft ads. Now, most important part is we analyze and measure marketing ROI on all the marketing campaigns that we run. In a nutshell, what is the marketing ROI? It is if you take your marketing investment and then how much money are you generating, how much revenue are you generating based on this marketing investment will give you an actual marketing ROI. So on the SEO, the average ROI is 1900%. So
Wow.
on every dollar that they invest in SEO, on average, they would generate $19 back. On the paid, it's 760%. So for every dollar they invest in paid ads, they would get back $7.60 back. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Thank you for sharing that. I think the more tactical, it's so interesting to hear literal actual numbers, and you're seeing this across many different businesses. This is a hot topic I was talking to with another agency about earlier today, which is just tracking this is a huge task, right? Because you have
Yes.
all these different channels. A lot of clients are using different CRMs and home services. It's Service Titan, it's Jobber, it's House Call Pro, it's Workies. Mapping all the data is a beast. Like, how do you manage that, particularly for, let alone for one business, for many businesses?
Yeah, we have the entire team. We call this team Research and Development R&D, and their entire task is to build an internal tag. We created our own internal tag. We set up different tracking mechanisms and metrics, and we analyze. So we basically track, measure, and analyze every conversion and every action that happens on their website, or if someone calls them. We've also built a portal where we track every single conversion, let's say that comes from the website form, from the phone call, or from a chat. And then we built an AI system, AI chatbot that analyzes the quality of each lead and gives us a snapshot of total marketing qualified leads generated per month, split by channels, split by services, split by geography, and so on. It's a very tedious task. It's not easy for sure. And assuming that knowing that many use different CRMs and some don't use CRMs at all, like they would use Google spreadsheets. And even in 2025, we have a couple of data specialists that sort of gather their data and then analyze it with power of AI and then input all the information in our marketing tracker.
I want to talk about AI. It's a hot topic. I run a software company focused on AI for home services, so it's near and dear to my heart. Before we get to the elephant in the room of AI, let's talk about conversion. So, in my experience as a consumer and with our customers at Lead Truffle, the phone and having a real human being pick up the phone. I know the AI phone stuff's getting better, but from what I've seen, having a real owner operator CSR pick up the phone is great. Web forms are okay. AI chat on the web's okay. Text message is great. What are you seeing from a conversion standpoint, whether it's on Google and using Google's dedicated phone numbers on website? Like, where are you seeing the best conversion from MQL to paying customer for your customers?
Yeah, there's actually a thing called lead lifetime value, right? Which is the sooner you're able to respond to a lead, the likely your chances of actually acquire them as a customer. It truly exists, and even in our world, in marketing world, we could do phenomenal marketing job, but if their sales process is not up to par, they're not going to get, they're not going to grow, basically. And our recommendations say exactly that: personalized approach, response to a phone call within the first couple seconds of the call, response to forms within the first couple minutes of the form submission. So getting them as quick as possible, because what's going to happen is we know that besides calling to our client, a prospect might call 4 other companies or research for other companies, and they'll fill out a bunch of forms. They'll call a bunch of companies. They'll try to do this research, within the next hour or so. So we're trying to get in front of them as quickly as possible. Running retargeting ads is very important too, because sometimes decision takes longer. So we create specialized retargeting ads to ensure that we show up in form of banners on other websites, and so that if someone was not ready to buy from us today, they'll see our branding down the road.
AI, hottest topic around. I use it every day. I'm building a company around it. I know that there's so many great use cases. How are you using AI internally at Comrade as well as for your clients?
Yeah, huge. Well, first of all, we built a couple tech pieces with the utilization of AI, and it helps big time. Saves thousands of hours for us and delivers marketing qualified leads to our clients. Um, One of our clients in the window restoration space specifically, they used to process something like 1,200 leads a month. They have multiple locations and so on. So it's a huge task. Now, it was 1,200 submissions. It doesn't mean that all of them were qualified leads. So we implemented our tag, which strips down all of the non-marketing qualified leads and sends them very specific, workable data, workable leads that they need to work with. So it's huge. We use AI a number of initiatives, content generation, strategy. We don't really, many marketing agencies would try to replace content with, let's say, ChatGPT completely. We don't do that. We don't believe that if you completely outsource your writing or any of the marketing strategies to AI, you're going to get good quality. You're going to get subpar, like very generic quality. So in order to generate a truly valuable piece of content, truly valuable strategy or whatever else, you got to give it your expertise. You got to give it your own ideas, your creatives, right? And then AI is great as co-pilot. AI can help you structure data. AI can help you research data. AI can help you fill up blanks, the gaps and so on. That's where true power of AI comes in. But if you look at it from perspective of generate this completely for me, that's not going to work. um, but other than that, I think for us marketers, AI is definitely a disruptive technology. I think within 3 to 5 years, many of the marketing agencies will not be around if they're not going to adopt the AI. For home services specifically, I think no AI is going to replace home services. No AI is going to be replacing roofs, at least not next 10 years. So that's a good part. AI is not going to disrupt home service business, which is one reason why we prioritize home services so much. On legal industry that we also service, we know that some of the aspects or some of the sub industries will fall out.
80 employees is a lot. That's a big agency. That's a lot of people to manage. That's a lot of employees. That's a lot of payroll. What's been your experience building an 80-person company? I mean, that's probably in the 1%, if not smaller, of small businesses. Like, just how has that been? How do you manage that many people? Any learnings or insights from growing a company to that many people?
Yeah, very good question. It sort of happened organically. I always, when I started the company, I always envisioned it have been a big agency, obviously, but uh, it's been since 2008. What it's been 17 years in the making, so a very long time. Obviously, made a lot of mistakes, but I guess the biggest contribution to our success was picking the right talent, picking that fundamental, foundation managers that can be your next layer for growth. When I started out, I used to manage projects. I used to manage client relationships, right? Then as we grew to, let's say, size of 10, I had my first manager. So I had to manage that first manager. Then from my first manager, we went to a next step, which is you already manage a manager of managers. So that's a different level of management altogether. But what holds it all together is right talent, good company culture, and we have amazing company culture. We have very low employee turnover, actually, which we're really happy about. And everyone is fired up about the future, about growing the company. Everyone participates, suggests ideas. We're all about automation nowadays. We're not trying to actively grow our headcount anymore. We're trying to become more efficient and improve our margins as much as possible with the power and with the help of technology. So far, it's been a great journey. Can't complain. But I guess for me personally, it was a great ability to grow personally and professionally because of how much I had to switch my roles around. So I don't know if that answers your question.
You see so many of these businesses. So narrowing down on home services, you've seen so many clients come in your door. You've seen so many great turnarounds. What are the 1 to 3 biggest mistakes you see home services companies making from a digital marketing perspective?
Number one, spreading the budget too thin. We see some clients come to us with a budget of $1,000 per month, and they want to run ads, they want to do SEO, they want to do social media, they want to do email marketing, text messaging, and so on. Like just impossible. So no BS marketing. We have that expression, and we tell it to our clients. BS marketing does not work. Cheap marketing does not work. Invest properly. And then from that, number two, choosing wrong vendors. We see a lot of the home services, not only home services, but small businesses been burned by fake marketing agencies. So marketing agencies that say that they'll do things, but in reality, they'll deliver some activities and call it a day, not moving the needle. So just, I guess, hiring vendors without properly vetting them, understanding if there are any case studies. Have they done this for companies like mine? Have they achieved this sort of result? If so, can I speak with another company that been there, done it? Number three, not waiting long enough. Digital marketing is a very complicated, very competitive game. If you starting today, you're most likely going to compete with 300-pound gorillas in the space that already been doing that for years and years and years. You need to catch up. That will take years. You can't achieve results overnight. So patience, make sure that you follow the strategy, make sure you choose the deliverable expert and stick to them. And number four, proper management, and been very mindful and very and understanding the data and stats. We see a lot of home services be like, just do marketing for us. You just like, I don't need a report. Just as long as I see leads, it's all good. We're like, no. You need to understand this. You run a business. Tomorrow, when you get to a much larger size, you would potentially need to hire your own marketing team. You would need to manage them. You would need to understand how to manage them. So be here with us. Let us explain to you how it all works. The different economics and so on. Many businesses just don't think this is important where it is. Like that's the biggest differentiation of when you work with legal sector versus home service sector. Legal, because they all went to this law firms, very sophisticated, very smart individuals, white collar individuals, right? Like they would be sitting there, they would be trying to grind, they would be trying to understand everything. blue collar individuals, like, nah, just give it to me. I don't want to dig.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a difference. And I used to run an agency, so I know how important getting that client buy-in is. It's so crucial. So, um, Ivan, super great insights, very tactical. And anything we didn't cover here that you'd want to talk about or share with the audience?
Uh, a lot I would love to share. Obviously, it's a very limited time. I guess one very practical tip I always give to my our clients is try to deliver amazing quality and try to specialize in this one thing. Some of our clients would come to us and they'd be like, "Well, we do roofing, we do flooring, we do siding, we do this and that." You can't be expert in everything. It's so hard for us marketers to promote you if you jack of all trades. It's impossible. So if you become that, if you have your own what we call point of view, like I'm the best roofer, like I have my processes, honed down, and I know exactly how to replace your roof within a week, and it'd be amazing. And then once you get that down, second thing is focus on brand building and reputation. Like collect reviews as much as possible. This is what going to separate you from the rest of the pack, especially if your budget is limited.
Great insights, Ivan. Thank you. For people that want to work with Comrade or follow you personally and connect with you on social, where can folks find you and your company?
Absolutely. So you can. I actually have my own website now. My marketing team pushed me to have my own website. You can visit it at ivanvislavsky.com. You can also send me an email at ivan@ivanvislavsky.com. Any questions if you looking for ways to grow your business or just insights as a business owner to business owner, happy to answer. Shoot me an email.
Ivan, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Brian. It was a great conversation.